First off, a big welcome to everybody to our 2023 LabKey Server SDMS User Conference. My name is Michael Gersch. I'm the CEO. I'll do some brief introduction and kick us off today, and then we'll get into all the good stuff. So first off, as the name implies, we're really going to be focused on LabKey Server today. We've expanded our product portfolio over the year, and we won't be going as deep into those products, although we will touch on Sample Manager and ELN as they're part of the LabKey Server family. But LabKey Biologics, for example, we'll cover more later this year and in the first part of next year. So with that, what are we trying to do? Why are we having this user conference yet again? At the start, it's really to be inspired by other users of LabKey, and to see how they're using it to generate ideas and best practices and get you thinking about how you can further get value from the LabKey Server platform, and to do that to extend your research. The second thing is the chance to learn from LabKey. You'll hear today from Adam and Josh, Joe and Steve with best practices, either best practices from how to implement software and how to work and how to gain the most value from new software in your organization, and then how change evolves over time and you want to continue to get value from the software, but also our product and features and our enhancements we've done the past year and plan to do going forward. And then finally, it's really to give us feedback. We're going to have the Q&A feature on throughout. We recognize this is a format that has some advantages, but sometimes some challenges with giving feedback. So please use the Q&A feature. And then equally follow up with us afterwards. Some of the best ideas we get are our post-user conference, when folks will say, I heard you talked about this enhancement or this new feature functionality. Did you think about this, or what about this use case? So that really just helps us be a better partner to all of you. And I think that's really where I want to start. I like to give a little company update. I feel like as a user of LabKey, we've got a little bit of a unique relationship with our partnerships, and we like to give you an overview of the company, and that's what I'll cover. So as it says, really, the way we got here in the first place was starting at the Hutch and being a partner to researchers, and that continues to be the way we grow. We had a great year of growth together, and in the past year we've added 35% more clients. So thrilled with that, and we completely understand that's because of partnerships and relationships and how we work with all of you. That's what's driving our growth, by being a good partner and providing good value. Along those lines, now we've worked with 8 of the top 10 pharma companies. And I mention that just because obviously the process you have to go through to partner with a large pharma company is pretty extensive. So as a smaller business, we like to share that just because I think it's a good indication on how we're working and our processes and our systems and our approach. At the same time, our starting point, where we founded, has been in nonprofit. We started working at the Hutch, and now we work with a multitude of nonprofits, of academic organizations, of government organizations, and that's still like I said, the majority of our business. Some of those organizations are really small, labs of a few people, up to some very large, several thousands of user organizations. So, but always sort of, knowing where we came from and how we got started, as you'll hopefully appreciate. Further growth has been global. I've always felt the more diversified we are from a country perspective, the better partner we're going to be, because we're going to hear innovation, we're going to hear ideas from different perspectives. One of our speakers today is from France. One of our users today, Lucy. So having that diversity just makes us a stronger company, a stronger partner. And then finally, a new statistic that I thought would be interesting to share is, where do we spend our time? Now, this is a bit unique, I say, because how we got started with a company that had to track time is still part of our heritage. So we have a little more insight into where we spend our time than most small software companies. And we track time. And I feel like, what you want to hear is, okay, as you grow and add customers, where are you spending your time, LabKey? Where are your employees spending their time? And I thought I'd share this. So 69% of our time is spent either directly working with clients or product development. And I think the reason you can care about that is as we grow, know that as we add more people, where we're putting our investment, okay, and where we're spending our time. We still are primarily an employee-owned company, a little bit from the Hutch, but we are, we think that makes us different because we get to take a really long-term perspective and a perspective focused on our partnerships with all of you. So thank you for that. We recognize how you've made that possible. So we will never lose sight of sort of what got us here and our deep commitment to research. So we still spend a lot of time and actively support LabKey Server SDMS Community Edition, which I think, as many of you know, that's a free software solution for bioinformatics. That's something that we spend a lot of investment on and have since the beginning of the company. And in fact, many of you on this call today are Community Edition users. Others, and back to BioAster, started a Community Edition and then grow into being a Premium Edition client. But we recognize researchers still need free solutions to get incubated, to get started, and to do their good work, and we're remain committed to that. And we think as a software company in life sciences, that's something that makes us very unique by providing that offering. Touched on it before, scalable solutions. We recognize that when labs are just getting started, they have one set of needs. As they grow, whether in terms of researchers or collaborators or partners, those needs change over time. Similarly, research is a dynamic activity that will always have change. And so what we pride ourselves on is having scalable solutions that start either with the Community Edition, or start with Sample Manager, and scale up to true enterprise-wide solutions for thousands of users with very diverse use cases. Finally, custom development. Off-the-shelf software is a wonderful thing when your needs match the needs of the greatest common denominator. That isn't always the case. And so LabKey has always been a company that's willing to build new functionality tailored to the needs of our customers. And that's something we will continue to do. So know that's always a resource available to all of you. And then lastly, our commitment to client service. The account management team, led by Keith, you're going to hear from Joe today, is an investment we make because we really think that partnership provides a lot of value. Yes, we're a software company, but we're also a science company. And having that partnership and being able to share with you best practices, as I mentioned, you'll hear that today from Joe, but you'll also hear from Steve and Josh and Adam. And we think if we're helping to incubate, if we're helping to share best practices, that's something that we can do that will help enable your research. So that's something we've done historically for 20 plus years, and that's something we're committed to do going forward. And we realize that provides resource and makes us a better partner. So a little bit more about the company. Where are we focused from a product strategy? It continues to be these three pillars that I've mentioned in the past. First off, ease of use. Time's precious. Driving change in a lab can be a challenge. And we know the easier our software is to use, then the faster you're going to see value, the faster you're going to be able to collaborate, the faster you're going to be able to enable your research. So having easy to use products and a pleasing UX is something we're committed to. And that's an area we'll continue to need feedback on because it's ultimately, that's the vote that counts most. Second off is efficiency. Your time is precious, your resources are precious. So anything we can do to help advance your research by saving you time and providing efficiency, we know is going to help. So that's an area of our focus for our products. And lastly, flexibility. As I mentioned, it's great when everybody has the same needs, but often that's not the case. And often your needs will change and grow over time. So making sure that we have software solutions that can grow with you. We want to grow with you from an account management and partnership perspective, but we also want to grow with you from a solution perspective, so that, again, as you grow, we can grow together, which is how we got here in the first place. So real quick, today's agenda, hopefully you've already seen this. I think it's a nice balance between LabKey employees presenting and sharing product updates, sharing updates around security, sharing updates around how to get the most value out of working with LabKey and how to drive adoption in your organization. Steve's going to do some technical training around LabKey SQL. We'll continue to do more training in the coming months. So we've gone to an approach where we spread training out throughout the year as opposed to just have it today. And then finally, Lucy and Tumen, we really appreciate them taking the time to share how they're using LabKey to harmonize data and how that enables their collaboration, their research. So a big thanks to Lucy and Tumen. So with that, let me hand it over to both the head of our product strategy and also the founder of LabKey, Adam Rauch.